Yehovah Elohim Svaot, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me and cover me and stir me and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Ezekiel chapter 44. Then he brought me back by way of the outer gate of the sanctuary, the one facing east, and it was shut. Yehovah said to me, this gate will remain shut. It will not be opened, and no one will go through it, because Yehovah, the Elohim of Israel, has gone through it. Therefore, it is to be shut. Only the prince, since he is a prince, is to sit there to eat his meal before Yehovah. He is to enter through the vestibule of the gate and leave the same way. Then he brought me through the north gate to the front of the house. I looked, saw Yehovah's glory filling the house of Yehovah, and fell on my face. Yehovah said to me, human being, pay attention. See with your eyes, hear with your ears, everything I tell you about the regulations of Yehovah's house and about all its Torah. Pay attention to what can enter the house and who must be excluded from the sanctuary. You are to tell the rebels, the house of Israel, that this is what Yehovah Elohim says. House of Israel, enough of all your disgusting practices. You brought in foreigners, uncircumcised in both heart and flesh, to be in my sanctuary and profane it. Yes, my house. When you offered my food, the fat and the blood, thus, in addition to all your disgusting practices, they broke my covenant instead of taking care of my holy things yourselves. You have put these people in charge of my sanctuary. Here is what Yehovah Elohim says. No foreigner, uncircumcised in both heart and flesh, is to enter my sanctuary. No foreigner living among the people of Israel. Rather, the Levi'im who went far away from me when Israel went astray, going astray after their idols, they will bear the consequences of their guilt. But they are to serve in my sanctuary. They will have charge of the gates of the house and of serving in the house. They will slaughter the burnt offerings and sacrifice for the people, and they will attend and serve them, because they served them in the presence of their idols, and became an occasion of sin for the house of Israel. I am raising my hand against them, says Yehovah Elohim, and they will bear the consequences of their guilt. They will not approach me to serve me in the office of Kohen, or approach any of the holy things or the especially holy things, but they will bear their shame for the disgusting practices they committed. Yet I will put them in charge of the house and all its maintenance and everything to be done in it. However, the Kohanim, who are the Levi'im and descendants of Zadok, who took care of my sanctuary when the people of Israel went astray from me, they are the ones who will approach me and serve me. It is they who will attend me and offer me the fat and the blood, says Yehovah Elohim. They will enter my sanctuary, approach my table to minister to me, and perform my service. Once they enter the gates of the inner courtyard, they are to wear linen clothing. They are not to wear any wool while serving at the gates of the inner courtyard or inside it. They are to wear linen turbans on their heads and linen underclothes on their bodies. And they are not to wear anything that makes them sweat. Before going out of the outer courtyard, they are to remove the clothes in which they minister. lay them in the holy rooms, and put on other clothes, so that they won't transmit holiness to the people by means of their clothing. They are not to shave their heads and let their hair grow long, but they must keep their hair carefully trimmed. No Kohen is to drink wine when he enters the inner courtyard. They may not marry a widow or a divorcee, but must marry virgins descended from the house of Israel, or a widow whose deceased husband was a Kohen. They are to teach my people the difference between holy and common, and enable them to distinguish between clean and unclean. They are to be judges in controversies, and they are to render decisions in keeping with my rulings. At all my designated festivals, they are to keep my laws and regulations, and they are to keep my Shabbats holy. They are not to come to any dead person, because this would make them unclean. However, for father, mother, son, daughter, brother, or sister who has no husband, they may make themselves unclean. After a Kohen has been purified, he is to wait 7 days. Then, on the day he enters the sanctuary, when he goes out into the inner courtyard to minister in the sanctuary, he is to offer his sin offering, says Yehovah Elohim. Their inheritance is to be this: I myself am their inheritance. You are not to grant them any possession in Israel. I myself am in their possession. They are to eat the grain offering, sin offerings, and guilt offerings, and everything in Israel devoted to Elohim will be theirs. The first of all the first fruits of everything, and every voluntary contribution, everything from all your offerings will be for the Kohanim. You are also to give to the Kohen the first of your dough, so that the blessing will rest on your house. The Kohen are not to eat anything, bird or animal, that dies naturally or is torn to death. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this fascinating 44th chapter of Ezekiel? We can follow where Yehovah leads you. Know where Yehovah goes through, where he goes through has to be shut, and only the prince can sit there and eat before Yehovah. Trust that the glory of Yehovah will soon fill the house of Yehovah here on earth. Fall on your face in the presence of Yehovah. Pay attention to the written words of Yehovah. See with your eyes, hear with your ears everything said about Yehovah's regulations of his house and all about its Torah. Aim to be one who can enter the house of Yehovah. Aim to keep covenant with Yehovah. Aim to serve Yehovah in his presence. Aim to be used in service to approach Yehovah and to serve Yehovah. Aim to attend Yehovah and offer him all that he desires. Aim to minister to Yehovah and perform his service. Know that Yehovah is focused on what you wear as clothing. Know that Yehovah is focused on your hair and what you put in your mouth. Know that Yehovah has rules for who you can marry. Aim to know what is holy and what is common, between clean and unclean. Know how to judge and render decisions in keeping with his rulings. Know all about his festivals and to keep his laws and regulations and to keep his Shabbats holy. Keep purity regulations. Know that Yehovah is our inheritance. He is our possession. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can encourage others to follow where Yehovah leads. Bear one another's burdens. Pay attention to the written Torah of Yehovah. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. We'll end with the Arianic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Shalom, shalom.